Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I have had my baby. Hooray! He is 6 days old now. He's just having a little sleep in his pram over there. So once he wakes up, I'll get him out and show him to you. But he is a boy, as they did predict, and his name is Owen Rhys. He is absolutely amazing. This video I'm going to do is going to be my 1 week postpartum vlog. And then I'm actually going to film a video straight after this, being my labour and delivery video. So while it's still fresh in my mind, even though it might be a little bit too fresh because I'm not sure I want to really relive it all again so soon. But so I think the last video I filmed on a Monday. My labour started the next day on the Tuesday, so I'd been out for lunch that day with my mum and my sister, and then came home sort of feeling a bit, off and tired and whatnot, and then started timing my contractions. About 5 o'clock is when I noticed that they were probably actually contractions. He wasn't born though until the following morning on the Wednesday, so he's 6 days old now. If you haven't been following my vlog so far, I was given two due dates when I was given 2 due dates for him. The first being was the 22nd, which was the date that they figured out using my period dates and whatnot. Was the 22nd, and then when we did our first ultrasound, they did change my due date to the 19th, just based on the size of the uterus and the baby at the time. So although I was using the 19th as my due date, I always suspected that my due date was actually the 22nd, based on my dates and whatnot. So that being said, he did come on the 22nd, so I count that as he was born on his due date, personally. The doctors don't. They say he was 40 weeks and 3 days, but he came on the 22nd, very early in the morning. I did go into labour spontaneously, so that all happened naturally for me. He was 3.46 kilos. He was 49 centimetres long, and his head circumference was 36 centimetres. The birth was a lot more traumatic than Taylor's birth for me. Not the labour itself. The labour was pretty good. They did end up having to break my waters, and after they did that, that's when it went crazy. It went very, very quickly after that, but it was intense. So like pain I'd never felt, even though I had already been through childbirth with Taylor. And then there was a couple, not complications, but things didn't go perfectly smoothly after I'd actually delivered him, just in me. So I'll talk about that more in my labour and delivery story. But basically overall, I ended up staying in hospital just one night. They actually wanted me to stay 2 because I had lost a lot of blood during the delivery. But once they did blood tests and whatnot, and all my hemoglobin and all my levels were all fine, so they said I could go home. I was happy to stay the extra day, but I was happy to stay the extra night, but the other people in my ward, because I was in a public hospital, I was sharing a room. Once I was out on the ward, I was finding I was having trouble sleeping, not because of Owen, but because of the other people in the room. So I ended up coming home and had a better night's sleep for it anyway. So, and we do have a service here where midwives come out to your house and check you after you've been discharged from hospital. So I came home on the Thursday, and then I had a midwife come out and check on us on Friday, and then on Sunday as well. So, I was being monitored and everything still for any kind, like with my blood loss and whatnot, as was Owen with anything wrong with him, which has all been fine. So I was happy to come home. I stayed the entire day. I delivered him at 6:41 in the morning, and then so obviously we stayed that whole day that night, and then we didn't come home until about 3 o'clock the next day. So I feel like I was in hospital a good amount of time. I didn't feel forced to come home or anything like that. So 1 week out, he is doing amazingly well. He is a much more relaxed baby than my daughter was. He is feeding really well. I've been really, really lucky with both my kids that they came out of the womb knowing how to breastfeed. I didn't have any problems with it at all. It's been even easier this time than with Taylor, because with Taylor it was my first time doing it, breastfeeding, and I had just a bit more pain in my nipples, and in the when the milk actually came in, it was a bit more painful with her. With him, I found I haven't had any grazes or cracked nipples or anything at this point. It kind of hurts a little tiny bit when he first latches on. It's sort of a bit like, ooh, but then as soon as he's latched on, it's fine. And then when the milk came in, although they did swell, and I was getting quite a few lumps in my breasts, after I think it was only about a day or so that they felt really, really full. and I just had a couple of warm showers. I pumped a little bit of milk out just to sort of give myself some relief, and massage the lumps out that were feeling really lumpy. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as with Taylor, and he's not feeding as often. She wanted to be fed every single hour on the hour pretty much, whereas he will go 2 hours during the day and then at least 3 hours at night between feeds. So it's a bit more, like my boobs get a bit more of a break in between feeds with him. So that's been easier. Sleep-wise as well, like I said, Taylor wanted to be fed every single hour, so she was awake all the time basically, and he just is happy to sleep. He's asleep now. I'm assuming he's going to wake up pretty soon though, because he's just about due for a feed. But he sleeps so well at night time, and even after, you know, he does wake up and have a feed at night, he goes straight back to sleep so far. He doesn't stay awake and need to be settled back to sleep or anything, which was the case with Taylor. She always had to be settled and whatnot, and it was quite, I felt very sleep deprived with her, whereas with him I'm feeling pretty good. Speaking of Taylor, she absolutely loves him. She adores him. So far, I hope it continues on in this manner for a little bit longer. She does have a cold though, so she wants to like cuddle him and kiss him and everything. But because she's got a cold, I can't really let her be too close to him. Although, like I say, I'm breastfeeding, so he's well protected with the antibodies in that. I still don't want to risk him getting sick if I can, so I'm trying to keep her away from his face as much as possible. She still cuddles him and everything, like she still has a hold and whatnot, and she's still very much a part of looking after him and everything, which is really, really good. But I'm just trying to keep her out of his face as much as she wants to be in it. He's really relaxed with her as well. He really seems to like her. He does not, he's not fussed when she's wanting to play with him and talking to him. And it has really surprised me. I really did think that she was either gonna hate him and hate the interruption to her life, or I thought she'd be quite indifferent and not really care that he was there, like just sort of, you know, carry on with her day. But she wants to be with him, like even if she's playing a game by herself. Like she was playing Lego yesterday for 2 hours or something, and every few minutes she'd come over and just check on him, make sure he was okay, you know, give him a little pat and a kiss on the head. So she's really surprised me. She's been really, really sweet. What else? He's growing well. I think he lost about 200 grams from his birth weight the first day that they measured him on the Friday, which they said was fine. And then on the Sunday when they weighed him again, he had to put 100 grams back on. So they were happy with his progress there. He's got lots of wet nappies. He feeds really well. He does spit up a little bit, so he'll be, after he's had a feed, he will do a bit of a spew with the milk. It doesn't seem to phase him though. He just sort of will be laying there, spew, and then go back to sleep. Like he doesn't even register that he's done it, I don't think. So I think that's a good sign. At least he's not uncomfortable. With me, I did have a couple of stitches after the delivery. It wasn't a tear, I don't believe. I believe it was just grazing, which is funny because when she was assessing the area, she said, you know, it was this kind of graze and that kind of graze, so it'll just be a couple stitches. And I thought, oh, well, that's good, you know, because last time I had an episiotomy with Taylor, and this time I'm going to go obviously a lot easier. This time recovery is going to be a lot easier. It's not going to be such a, you know, huge ordeal. It wasn't even an ordeal with Taylor. Like I didn't even feel the stitching with her. I didn't feel the needles going in with her. Like everything was fine. So I thought this was going to be even easier. And then, yeah, it hurt a lot more. So I had a couple of internal stitches, I believe, and there's one, my perineum, I think she said it is. I haven't really been game to look, so I'll just have to be careful around there. I'm just doing a lot of padding and whatnot. It does still feel, the swelling has gone down by now. I'm still a little bit tender when if I've walked around for a little bit. I am enjoying laying on the couch a lot. The pain, it does help with the pain if I lay down more so than sit up or walk around and whatnot. So I'm trying to take it easy. My husband has been home. This is his first day. He's gone back to work today, and my in-laws are having Taylor today just so I can sort of have an extra day. I have had a cold as well, so that's sort of been hindering my recovery a little bit. Like I had body aches and I had a sort of like a stuffy nose and everything. So yeah, he wanted to give me an extra day to sort of just chill out and sort of take it easy and look after Owen by himself. So tomorrow I'll have Taylor and Owen by myself for the full day. So we'll see how we go. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. Because I'm not feeling sleep deprived, and that was the thing that I struggled with most with Taylor, was the sleep deprivation. So feeling pretty good. In terms of my belly, I've been wearing my belly band, the Mum Away belly band, and I do definitely feel like it has made a difference. Like, it's crazy. When I came home from the hospital, I still looked about 6 months pregnant, as you tend to. I put on the band when I got home, and like even that night my belly just seemed so much more tucked in. I'll stand up and show you just so you can sort of see. If I do I haven't been wearing it religiously, like I don't wear it at night time when I'm asleep. I think I wore it one night when I was sleeping, but not every night, just for comfort sake really. I've been wearing it most of the time during the day. I've had a couple of hours where I haven't been wearing it, I suppose, per day, but I'll show you what my tummy looks like now. I did buy it more so for the back support, but I have found that I haven't had any back problems yet, so that's good. But I mean, we'll see how we go. I'll just show you what my belly looks like. Oh, and I fit into my pre-pregnancy jeans. I was wearing them yesterday. I was really excited because it took me like months before I fit. Well, I don't think I even got back into any of my pre-pregnancy jeans until I had my thyroid dramas last time, so that's a whole year. Oh no, he's crying. This is me with the band on. Like that. Oops. And I'm wearing my just like my lounge pants now. So that's from the front and that's from the side. So it's not perfect, but it is a lot better than it was with Taylor at this point. I didn't end up getting any stretch marks either. This is still the line, the linear, whatever it's called, left over from my pregnancy belly. And I will do a review on my belly band when I, after, you know, the 6 weeks or so, when you're meant to, after the 6 week period that you're meant to use it for, and let you know what I thought of it. But so far it's going pretty good, so we'll see how we go. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna film, he's not awake yet, so I'm gonna film my labour and delivery story, and then if he wakes up at some point during that, I will come back and insert a clip here so you can see him. And if he doesn't wake up at all, I've taken lots of videos, so I'll insert something here so you can see what he looks like. You waking up?
You're beautiful, aren't you? You're such a good baby.
Huh? This is no colour, Owen.
This is a nice colour, isn't
Look at your little eyes. So beautiful.
But as always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer them. But they also might be answered in my next video anyway, because of it'll be a bit more in depth than this one. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me throughout this whole pregnancy and the labour. I've got a few videos in the works, so I will be back soon with something else for you. I hope you're having a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.